Get on the train before it leaves the station. The truth train is coming, gonna run them down, run them down.
Hello there, everybody. How you doing? Today, putting together a little video here that a family member actually asked me to make as I was talking about this week and what it was like here in LA, in Southern California, and what the freeways were like. What, some of the shopping, districts, some of the places, like restaurant and shopping districts. So I was talking about, I was in Manhattan Beach to this family member, and they were saying that I should have taken some pictures to show it. So I got called out on an emergency call this morning back to Manhattan Beach because obviously with COVID-19, people are very, very, they're very, very concerned about having their internet working. So I had a client that was saying they were having some issues with their internet and TV, so I had to go out and take a look. That's why I am basically essential personnel. And that's why I've been out and about, and I've been able to observe what's happening on the freeways and in the communities. So what I'm going to show you is basically just as I was getting, to this house to go fix their internet problems and stuff, I went ahead and took some footage, of the beach, because this is down in Manhattan Beach, of the beaches and how clear they are. And then there's a little shopping district there in Manhattan Beach, and I go ahead and show you a little bit of how clear it is there. And I got to say, I'm very proud of Southern Californians and Angelinos and even, Cali residents, that they're really taking this very seriously. And this social distancing seems to be being observed very, very, well. There's, it's like I said, I mean, the freeways are clear. I mean, folks, if you've ever driven on the LA freeways, prior to this thing, how they are and how it can take up to an hour and a half to go about 16 miles sometimes on LA freeways. But it's not like that right now. It's absolutely not like that. People are staying home, and they're trying to slow the spread of the COVID-19 virus. And like I said, I'm very, very proud of everybody here in, where I live, that they're really taking it seriously. Because we really don't want our medical professionals and everything to get overwhelmed by this thing. So it's important. I thought I would just show this because, like, I was talking with my, my family member about this, and they were saying, people should see this so they know that it's, people are taking it seriously, and so that people continue to take it seriously, because this type of stuff that you're going to see here with people observing this social distancing and trying to slow the spread of this, it's important. It's being observed, and we need to continue to observe it, because we need to go ahead and flatten this curve. We need to slow the spread of it, so that we're not getting it where too many people are getting it all at once. We need to keep it where it spreads slower, so that our medical community can handle the stress of dealing with COVID-19. So it's very important to keep that in mind. I'm going to show you here, an example of the social distancing being observed here in LA. And then I'm going to play one more video for you from a hospital in Italy, just so everybody can see how important it is to observe the social distancing. It is extremely important. And I'm going to put another video after the footage of the social distancing being observed here in California. You're going to see another video, and that video is going to be basically the most advanced hospital in Italy, which happens to be right at the center of the outbreak, and what that hospital is dealing with, and why we need to practice social distancing, and why it is so important. So, all right, let's get to it, and we'll see you again at the end. As you can see, the beaches are empty. Nobody's on the beaches. Well, very few people. There's a couple, but yeah, it's pretty clear out here today. I mean, you can see out here, like, there's no cars. I'm going to show you guys here in Manhattan Beach here in a minute. I'm going to show you where a lot of the shops and restaurants are that are really hopping on a day like today, on a Saturday. That you'll see it's pretty much a ghost town, because LA is taking this social distancing pretty darn seriously, and California, as far as I can tell. So but yeah, there you are. You got hardly anybody out on the beaches at all there. So all right, So here we're coming up on the area in Manhattan Beach where the like shops and restaurants are. They're usually hopping on a Saturday morning. Like this one, you can see pretty much right now all the sidewalks are empty. You know, nobody is out really. It's, you know, it's just eerily clear, and you know, it's, you know, a lot of these restaurants now are doing takeout only and stuff. And but yeah, I mean, this is usually packed with people, and it's just, you know, obviously people, oh, there you go, some takeout going on over there, but so, but otherwise it's, I mean, usually these sidewalks have tables on them. There's people out there dining outside the restaurants, and it's just, there's just usually a ton more people than what we're seeing here. It's just pretty wild to see it all like this. That particular little studio right there, yoga studio thing, that's usually hopping. I mean, obviously they shut that down, you know, so it's pretty wild to see it like this, just kind of like a ghost town, really. So as you can see, this is right near the beach here. You can see the water there, and here's another, you know, section where with a lot of shops, and would usually be pretty much hopping on a morning like this, usually on a Saturday. And you know, it's just not a lot of people, and you know, and there usually is, especially like on a Saturday morning, a lot of these people would be getting out, going for breakfast, doing whatever. I mean, there's just a lot of little shops and stuff here. This place is just usually just mobbed with people, and so it just goes to show you, California is taking the policy of social distancing pretty darn seriously, and that is going to help stem the spread of the COVID-19. So that's a good thing. So right here you can see these are like the shops and stuff I'm saying, where there's usually just massive amounts of activity here. It's just usually mobbed. People sitting outside the restaurants eating because they have tables outside of the little restaurants on the sidewalk and stuff, and you see it's just a ghost town. And I think maybe we'll walk down here towards the beach a little bit. Wait for the cars. Nope, they're gonna wait for me. Thank you. Thank you. So we're heading down here towards the beach. As you can see, not a whole lot of people. I'm out today on an emergency call myself because I had a customer whose TV went down, and you know, obviously while people are, you know, sheltering at home and all that sort of stuff, they want to be able to have entertainment and stuff. So that's why I become essential, and so that's why I'm out and I'm able to get this video. So but there's just not a lot of people. There's usually a lot more. I mean, we're seeing a couple, but I mean, it's usually a mob situation down here in Manhattan Beach where there's just all kinds of people. There would usually, for a Saturday by now, you would see the whole, just the sand would just be like checkerboarded with blankets and stuff like that. So, you know, people are still getting out, taking walks and exercising, but, you know, keeping their distance from everybody, you know. So, yeah. Piers are all closed. Can't go on those. I know that. As you can see, just not a lot of people on the beaches. The exercise paths, yeah, there's some people, but not actually on the beaches themselves. So, interesting stuff. These are the houses right on the Strand. Right on the beach. So, all right, so that's a little illustration of how well California is practicing the social distancing there. So here we are heading out of El Segundo, about to get on the 105 freeway. guys will be able to see just how light the traffic is. It's, you know, like I said, we're right next to the airport. That's why you're hearing airplanes, by the way. Another reason, you know, why there would normally be so many people in this area. But obviously with a lot of flights being grounded, you know, that's cut down on some of the traffic. But you guys just saw the little shopping district down there in Manhattan Beach, you know, little shopping and restaurant district, and basically what a ghost town it is. So it tells me people are taking this all very seriously, and I'm glad, because that's going to slow the rate at which this corona thing spreads, and it's going to give our medical personnel the ability to be able to deal with the cases that are in front of them without being overwhelmed. So that's a very, very good thing. So here we are coming up on the entrance to the 105 freeway, and like I said, we've just been coming up well, it's actually Imperial Highway, but it goes all the way down to the water, to the beach in El Segundo. But here we are now heading east, about to get on the 105. What a punk. Alright, so here we are. And you can see, I mean, the airport is just over here. This is the airport over there. So you can see that this freeway is like a ghost town. There's just nobody here. It's, you know, roll up my window so you guys don't have to listen to so much wind noise. There you go. You see these little signs that are normally, you know, with traffic information. They're all now with, you know, messages about stopping the coronavirus and well, flattening the curve and slowing the spread of it. You know, so that's interesting. I mean, it's really good to see everybody pulling together on this, and, you know, realizing that, you know, it is a danger, but it is, you know, a lot more manageable if we slow the spread. And people, it seems to be that people are realizing that, and they understand that, and that's a good thing. Because right now on this freeway, by now, I would normally be encountering traffic. Like, I would already be slowing down to a stop with an occasional little bit of movement. But as you can see right here, it is clear. It is absolutely clear. It is not normally like this. So it's, you know, just goes to show you that the social distancing is being taken very seriously. I mean, even the 405 is clear, which is just bizarre. 405 is one of the worst freeways in California, and even that freeway is clear. So that should tell you something. But here we are. I mean, just not encountering any congestion. There's just, everybody is staying home, wanting to stay safe, and to slow the spread of this thing, and that's a good thing.
reporting traffic information signs, talking about stopping the spread of the COVID-19. Wash your hands. So here we are coming up on the 110 freeway, and usually it gets pretty backed up as you approach the 110 here, but you guys are going to see just how open it is. I mean, normally it will start backing up just a little bit past this little bridge right here. You would see the cars backed up to just, you know, just a little bit of it, right where that bridge you can see right there is basically. But it's not backed up today. It's not, you know, there's just none of that congestion that's typical of the LA freeways. It's just not there. So you can see there's the transition for the 110 there. We're staying on the 105. Ordinarily right here you'd have, just past the 110 here, you would have a lot of cars coming onto the 105 from the 110, and it would cause, you know, a bit of a bottleneck right up here past the 110. Yeah, I'll show you the 110. 110 is right here, so you guys can see that there. That's the 110 freeway. See how clear that freeway is? Just as we get around these bushes here, you're going to see there's a lane that comes from the 110. And you can see right now, there's just no cars. Very, very little congestion at all. And so that's really what I wanted to kind of show, and so people could see, at least here in California, here in LA, you know, how seriously the whole social distancing is being taken. And I'm for one, am glad. Very, very proud of Angelinos and Cali residents for really, really trying to do their best to stop or to slow the spread of this thing. It just warms my heart to see people really taking it seriously. When Sandy Greenman was here a couple weeks ago, she can tell you that these freeways she found them to be very, very frustrating, being used to the little roads in Wisconsin, the little 2 and 4 lane highways in Wisconsin. She saw the congestion on this freeway, and she was just like, oh my god, you know, it was definitely something she wasn't used to. But it's, yeah, I mean, for those of you who are wondering about whether or not how bad it is during regular times, you can ask Sandy Greenman. She can tell you. She can give you her point of view. Stop the trains running. I'll bet they stopped the trains. They were running all week. There's a little train that runs down the center of the freeway here, folks, if you're wondering what I'm talking about. And those trains have been running all week, but it just occurred to me, I have not seen one all morning. They must have realized putting a bunch of people on a train together was probably not the best idea, which is why I was driving this week instead of taking the train myself. So yeah, because I chose to kind of use my car and be kind of self-quarantined in my car to and from work, rather than getting on a train with a bunch of other people, you know, and that sort of thing. So it looks like they it looks like they stopped the train, which, you know, I imagine makes it a little difficult for some people, but is obviously going to be a help in slowing the spread of COVID-19, obviously. So anyways, that's about what it's like here on these LA freeways right now. It's, you know, like I said, very clear, not a lot of traffic. People are really taking the social distancing seriously. And I, for one, am proud of Angelinos and Southern Cali residents, and even Cali residents. So, alrighty, folks.
Okay, so there it is, an example of what the social distancing looks like here in LA, Southern California. I would like to see other people from other areas show me the social distancing and how people are observing it in their areas. Maybe I can possibly get Jamie Hart and Linda Kay to put one together, or to get some footage to send to me for me to put together. But maybe we can get it from some other areas. I'd love to see it, you know, I'd love to see all of the areas that are really observing the social distancing, and I'd love to be able to talk about that and give them kudos for it, because it's the people that are taking this seriously and really trying to observe the social distancing that are going to help make this thing manageable. So what I'm going to show you right now is I'm going to show you a video from a hospital in Italy. And this is going to show you exactly why social distancing is so important, why it is so necessary. This hospital is completely overwhelmed in Italy. And you guys are going to see this right now. This is what we don't want to happen to our hospitals here. We do not want this to happen here. So I'm going to show you guys right now, and this is the reason why it's all so important. All right, here we go.
They're fighting a war here, and they are losing. The sheer numbers of people succumbing to the coronavirus is overwhelming every hospital in northern Italy. The staff are working flat out, trying to keep these people from deteriorating further. They're trying to stop them from dying. This isn't an intensive care unit, it's an emergency ward. The ICU is full. People have only just arrived here, and they're in terrible shape. This is an absolute constant. This killer pandemic is virtually out of control. The patients are literally gasping for air. The plastic bubbles the staff struggle to communicate through attempt to equalize the air pressure in the lungs. Nobody expected this. Nobody thought they'd be treating so many so quickly. And it's not like flu. It is chronic pneumonia, and it is killing hundreds each day.
There are now 15 patients.
The doctors say they've seen nothing like it before and are warning other countries, especially the United Kingdom, that they will see it as well.
People who keep describing this as like flu, it's worse than that, no?
No, it's totally another thing. I think it's most pneumonia, most pneumonia than flu, because most people get pneumonia, and as I said before, it's a very severe pneumonia, and so it's a massive strength for every health system, because we see every day 50 to 60 patients who come to our emergency department with pneumonia, and most of them are so severe they need very high FiO2 of oxygen, and so we have to reorganize our emergency room and our hospital in 3 levels of intensity, as you saw.
This is the main hospital in Bergamo in Lombardy province. It's one of the most advanced hospitals in Europe. But it's the most hard hit of all the hospitals in Italy. The town is the center of the epidemic here. This isn't a ward, this is a waiting room. Wherever you go, people are on gurneys, in corridors, in meeting rooms, they're everywhere. All the medical staff urge other nations to see what's happening and lock their nations down right now or face this.
What I would suggest is just shut down to stop all the outbreak and not come in this kind of situation that is very, very difficult to manage.
Can I ask you personally what it's been like?
I never felt so stressed in my life. I'm an intensivist, and I'm quite used to, intense moment and choices, and people are critical and will die without any, treatment, and you make the difference. But when you arrive at this point, you realize that you are not enough, and maybe we are 100 anesthetists here. We are doing our best, but maybe it's not enough.
We are performing the test for the nasal swab to detect coronavirus.
The problem facing health services across the world is that when the infection curve goes up, it rockets. And all the resources, all the testing, all the supplies are used up instantly. Multiple hospitals all at once.
What's staggering is that Italy is doing a lot of testing. Thousands upon thousands are being tested. So far, about 4,000, the numbers keep changing, have actually completely recovered. The crucial point is that about the same number are dying. They're sort of neck and neck. And it seems you either live and recover or you die. Something nobody expected.
Bergamo wanted us to see this to show what a catastrophic emergency nobody has experienced before looks like. Here they're calling it the apocalypse, and this is what it looks like. And their message to us is simple: get ready. Stuart Ramsey, Sky News, Bergamo, Italy.
Okay, so there you have it. There's an example of what the social distancing is looking like here in LA, Southern Cali. There's also that footage from the hospital in Italy. Now, one thing I want to make clear to people is that the social distancing does seem to work, because if you guys look, I saw yesterday a graph of how all the infection is going in all the various countries. Folks, Hong Kong, which would be one of the most populated centers of, anywhere, Hong Kong has flattened the curve. Their curve is flat. They did not get as high as a lot of other countries. They are actually the lowest. They have the lowest number of cases being reported, and over the longest amount of time. So it's clearly possible to slow this thing down, and Hong Kong is proving that, right? So we just got to be mindful. We got to really observe the social distancing. Be careful. Wash our hands. Do those things. Just take those extra precautions to slow this thing down as much as we can. And that's what we want to do. That's the whole point. It's the whole goal here. I realize it's a little troubling. It's hard. I know some people that like to go out and be social, be at the bars and out at restaurants and everything. Well, we're going to have to go without doing that kind of stuff for a little while. But it's not going to last forever. It's not going to last forever, so hopefully we can all just get by, because trust me, as uncomfortable as it might be to have to stay home or to not be as active as you used to be, it's a lot more uncomfortable to be dead or dying. So that's something to be considering when you're thinking about how uncomfortable this situation is. Just remember, it could be a lot worse, right? Okay, that's all I wanted to say today. Just wanted to create a little more awareness. And please tell everybody out there to be careful, watch out for yourself. Please, people, stop going nuts in the stores. We need some of the frail and people, the frail people in our society and stuff. They need supplies too. So come on, let's show a little consideration. Let's show that we're evolved as a species a little bit. Huh? Can we? Yeah, let's do that, please. Let's start acting sensibly, folks. This isn't the end of the world. This is just a hiccup. We all need to just do our part and make it manageable and get through it, right? Okay, so if you haven't already, please hit subscribe, and we'll see you.